So any issues, any doubts in the yesterday's class? So everyone started practicing.
Yes, sir.
Okay, created virtual machines and all. You all got the softwares, right? Just let me know anyone who didn't got the software still now.
మధు అండి నాకు పంపలేదు.
Okay, okay. I'll send the softwares to you. Okay. Ram Srinivas. Okay, fine. I'll send it today, Madhu. Okay. Let me start my virtual machine. Okay. So don't delay. Okay. So whenever we have discussed any topic, try to complete at least on the same day or the next day. Okay. If you keep on delaying the topics, then lot of things will be there to practice. Ultimately, you will lose the concentration. Okay. So just at least try to try to practice for 1 hour per day. Okay. Usually you have to practice for 3 hours 4 hours per day, but at least try to practice for 1 hour if you're like working and all, if you don't have time and all. If you're not practicing for at least 1 hour also, it will be difficult thing again. So in our last class we have discussed about the service account. Okay, what is a service account, how to create a user, how to make a user as a service account, how to make a user as a administrator. These things and all we have discussed in the yesterday's class, right? So we have started writing small queries, creating tables, okay, creating database, creating tables, inserting values. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll simply just write one where condition, okay, right? Then we'll go for the installation of SQL Server 2012. Okay, we are going to discuss the installation of SQL Server 2012. There is a small difference for the installation of SQL Server 2005 and SQL Server 2012. If you know the installation of SQL Server 2012, the same, nothing changed, same flow will be proceed for the SQL Server 2014, SQL Server 2016, 2017 also. 2019 not changes exactly, just added extra features. Okay, for 2016-17 you have to provide the tempdb files and of course tempdb file locations. These things and all you have to provide. Okay, so that's not a big deal, you can easily understand that one. Okay, right. So let me connect to this machine remotely. Right. Okay, so what is the query to create a table?
Create table, table name, column.
Okay, columns and their data types. Okay, what is the query for inserting values?
Insert value.
Okay,
Insert into
Table type.
values.
okay, insert into table name values and you have to provide the values. Okay, right. So like this you can create a table and all. Okay, let me open the management studio. So today we'll see just writing a where condition. Say for example, you are having an employee record. Okay, so in the employee record, you want to filter some of the records. Like you want to know whose salary is greater than 1 lakh. You want to know whose salary is less than 1 lakh or else less than some value. Okay, you want to know who is working from this Hyderabad location. okay, who is working from the Bangalore location. Like this, if you want to filter the records from a table, okay, we can use the where condition. By using where condition, you can filter the rows, okay. Rows or records both are same. Okay, columns are vertical entities. Okay, columns are vertical entities, whereas rows are horizontal entities. Row and record both are same. Okay, column or field both are same. You can call column as fields also. Columns or fields both are same. Rows and records both are same. Row is a horizontal entity. Okay, in the row you can get the complete record, but whereas in the column you will get only a specific value. Say for example, employee number column will have employee number information only. Employee name column will have employee name information only. Salary column will have salary information only. But whereas employee record, something like one Srinivas 10,000 or else 1 lakh, one Srinivas 1 lakh, that is a record. One Srinivas 1 lakh. Okay, one is the employee number, Srinivas is employee name, 1 lakh is employee salary. So one Srinivas 1 lakh is the complete record of Srinivas. In the record you can get the full details, whereas in the columns you will get a specific value. Either it will is a employee number or else employee name or else a salary, like that. The parameter of the value, the characteristic of the value you can get in the column. You will not get complete information in the column. Okay, you will get complete information in a record, right? So now let me filter some of the rows here. So I have my record, I have my table created in the batch 33 database, right? I'm opening a connection. Just click on the database. Okay, you can right click on and you can select new query, or else simply the shortcut is select the database, control N. Okay, control plus N. Select the database, not like this, just simply select the database like this. Simply select the database, press control plus N, will release a new query window from the database. Again, no need to change the database connection here. Okay, whichever database connection you want, select this database, control N. Automatically a new query window will open from that particular database. Okay, this session belongs to batch 33 database, and this session belongs to batch 33 new database. Okay, right. So like this you can open a new query window, or else right click on the database and you can open a new query window from the database. So what is my table? Select star from employee. Okay, employee. Okay, select star from employee is my table name, right? If you simply execute this query, for executing the query, what will be the shortcut? Alt X or F5 or simply execute button. Okay, so here you can see, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 records, and you can see their employee names and you can see the salary. Say for example, here you don't see any employee whose salary is less than 5 lakhs. Everyone's salary is 5 lakhs only. Okay, seems like 50,000 is there, right? For all the other records, 50,000 is there. So now this is for 5 lakhs. Ram salary is 5 lakhs, and remaining all other employees' salary is 50,000. Okay. So now I want to find out the employees who's earning less than 1 lakh. Okay. How to find that one? How many records are there? Currently 5 records are there. How many employees are earning less than 1 lakh? 4 employees are earning less than 1 lakh. These salaries are 50,000. Right. So in such cases, what you have to do, select same start from employee, where condition you have to use, where salary less than 1 lakh. Okay, select star from employee. Star means what? Star means what?
All.
All
All.
records. Okay, star, if you are using the star means all records. Okay, right? If you simply execute this query, okay, you can see 4 records came. First record doesn't came. Why? Because first record salary is 5 lakhs. Okay, and you can see 2 3 4 5 records. Okay, so like this, where condition is very useful. So simply you can add now also, you can add any values, not only for salary. Say for example, I want to know the employees whose employee number is more than 3, or else whose employee is usual in the organization. If you go to organization, you will have employee IDs, right? Whose employee ID is more than something like ABC. or else XYZ something employee number will be there, 2 3 4 5 5 6 7, like that some employee ID will be there. Okay, sometimes if you go to organization there will be an alphanumeric employee ID will be there. Okay, like ABC 1 2 3, like that the employee ID will be there. So if you want to find out the, you can use where condition on any column, not only on salary column. Okay, you can use where condition on any column you can use. Okay, say for example now I have 100 columns. Okay, you can use where condition on any column, no issues. Depends upon the column value, you have to change the column name and values also. Here if you want to find out, I want to know, so, the employee name Hari. Okay, Hari or Ravi, something like, where in such case what I have to do, where employee name is, make sure you are giving the same column name. If you are giving employee name, okay, that column doesn't exist, you will get an error like column does not exist. Okay, employee name is equal to, what is the name, Ravi. Okay, so like this, if you simply write the query, you will get only Ravi. How many Ravis are there in the organization? Usually in 5 records only one Ravi is there, right? So that's why I got only one record. Like that, if you are having multiple Ravis, you will get multiple records here. Okay, right. So now I want to know, I have 100 columns. Okay, I have 100 columns. Imagine I have 100 columns in my table. I want to pick only one column. I want to see all salaries column, all employees salary column. How can I see all employees salaries column, salary column? In 100 columns or else in multiple columns, I want to see only a specific column.
Select column name
Select column name.
from employee.
Right, very good. Okay, so if you want to see only a specific column, just mention the column name. That's it. Don't mention star. Okay, I want to see salary column, right? Select salary. Which column you want to see? Salary column you want to see. Select salary. Okay, from what is the table name? From employee. So write this. If you write the query, which column you just okay, write in the query, you will get only that particular column. Okay, simply you will get all the salary values for all the employees. Okay, like that, if you want to see multiple columns, you have to mention all the column names. So now I want to see employee name comma salary. If you want to see all the columns, you have to mention star. If you want to if you want to see some specific columns or limited columns, you have to mention that particular column names. Okay, so like this you can see, select employee number salary or employee number employee name. Okay, it's simply filtering. Don't think like it is deleting the values will be there in the table. Okay, but it's simply filtering the values from the table, right? You can see, right? See, like this we can apply where condition, we can apply, we can like see the specific columns in a table. So this is all about your development. Not more than that we are going to use. We will have some specific queries, small queries and all will be there. Okay, we are going to learn all those queries, but we are not going to write any of these queries in the organization. Developers will take care of it, right? So any issues, any doubts? Right, so what I'll do now, I'll install SQL Server 2012. Okay, I'll install SQL Server 2012. How to install SQL Server 2012 and all I'll show you now. Okay, so for that what I'll do, I'm not going to use this virtual machine. This is my Windows Server 2008 R2 virtual machine, right? I am not going to use this virtual machine. What I will do, of course, this is Windows Server 2008 R2. I can install my SQL Server 2012 in this Windows Server 2008 R2. Okay, why? Because how much difference is there for Windows Server 2008 R2 to SQL Server 2012? Only 4 years difference is there. Up to 7 years you can install, right? So I can install my SQL Server 2012 in this batch 33 machine. Okay, but I am not going to install SQL Server 2012 in this Windows Server 2008 R2 machine. I'll create a separate machine. Okay, I'll create a Windows Server 2012 machine. So here, how to create the machine? Initially we have discussed it, right? How to create a machine? Simply click here. This is a new machine, right? Go and click new machine, batch 33 underscore new, or batch 33 2012 machine. Okay, make sure it is a Microsoft Windows, and I am going to install Windows Server 2012, right? Just simply select Windows Server 2. Now I am creating virtual machine. Okay, don't think like I'm creating a Windows Server 2012. I'm simply creating a virtual machine. Once my virtual machine is created, I am going to install Windows Server 2012 on this machine. Okay, next 2 GB. I'm going to give RAM. I'm going to create a virtual hard disk. Create. Okay, the virtual hard disk extension is .vdi files, virtual disk image files. Don't change anything, and it should be dynamically allocated. Okay, dynamically allocated fixed size. We have already discussed the difference. If you give 20 GB or 30 GB dynamically allocated, how much it want, it is going to use that much GB only from that 30 GB. If it is going to use 5 GB, it will use only 5 GB and remaining 25 GB. Say imagine you gave the hard disk size as 30 GB dynamically allocated. So in 30 GB, if it is using only 5 GB, it will only use 5 GB, and remaining 25 GB you can use it for other purpose. It will be there in your local drives only. But if you select fixed size, 30 GB will be allocated to the virtual machine. Okay, you cannot make use of that 30 GB. So even though that virtual machine is using 30 GB or not, that will be completely allocated to the virtual machine. If you dismantle or else if you decommission that virtual machine, then again you will reclaim that 30 GB free space to the operating system. Okay, right, make sure it is dynamically allocated. So let me select any of the drives to save my VDI file. Okay, let me check in which server, which drive I have free space. Okay, I can see free space here, virtual VDI nodes. Okay, batch 30, 31, 33. Okay, right, here I'll create a new folder, batch 33 new 2012. 2012. Okay, just simply save it. Right, I am going to give 25 GB is enough. Okay, 25 GB. Right, my hard disk size is 25 GB. Create. Now I just created a machine, a blank virtual machine. I haven't installed anything in this machine. I simply created the blank virtual machine. Okay, now let me install Windows Server 2012 on this virtual machine. Okay, 1 minute. Let me connect my hard disk. Okay, so I just connected my hard disk. Right, let me attach ISO image here. Okay, how to attach? Go to settings of this machine, go to storage, go to empty disk, go to SATA port 1. Here I'm going to attach my Windows 2012 R2. Okay, I'm going to install my Windows Server 2012 R2. Why? Because Windows Server is an operating system. Without installing Windows Server 2012, you cannot install SQL Server, right? SQL Server is an application. Windows Server is an operating system. First you have to install operating system, then you have to install the application, right? So I just attached or mounted the ISO image for this new machine. Okay, now I can simply double click on it to start the machine. Okay, you will get like this, right? So here you can choose the language, okay, and the time location also. Usually it will be US only. If you don't want US, you can change the language to India, time location also to India. Like that you can change it. Okay. Simply go next. Click on install now. Okay. So you can see four options here. One is core installation, GUI installation. Okay. So you can select a GUI installation. Don't select core installation. Core installation means you have to write only queries. You cannot see anything like user interface like this start buttons, like whatever you are doing using GUI method, you cannot see that options. Okay, so if you select GUI only, then only you can use that server as a regular server. Otherwise, you have to use only queries. You cannot see anything like a Linux machine. Okay, make sure you have selected a GUI option. Windows Server 2012 R2 Standard Edition. Standard means what? It's an edition. Yes.
Sir, what is this fourth option?
Fourth option, this is different edition. See, like how we are having different editions in SQL Server. Okay, like we are having Standard Edition, Developer Edition, Enterprise Edition, right? So in the same way, in the Windows operating systems also there are different editions. Okay, this is one edition, Standard Edition with GUI. This is second edition, Data Center Edition with GUI. Okay, you can select any of the both, either Standard GUI or Data Center Edition GUI. Both are almost same only. Okay, some extra features will be there like that. That's it. Extra features in terms of operating system, not in terms of SQL Server. Okay, this is only operating system. And remember one thing: this step, the installation of operating systems, okay, and the creation of virtual machines, we are not going to do in the organization. Windows people are going to do in the organization. Okay, so whatever I'm discussing till 15 minutes, Windows people only will take care of it. Okay, right? Make sure you have selected either this GUI or the fourth one. Okay, simply select next. Okay, I accept the license terms. Next. Here you can see advanced option. Okay, don't go to upgrade option, you'll get lot of options here. Simply click on advanced option and select this CD 25 GB and click on next. Sometimes this button will be grayed out. Okay, if you select anywhere, usually see here. Okay, sometimes it will be grayed out. Okay, next button will be grayed out. In that case, just simply select the CD 25 GB and click on next. That's it. Okay, your installation will be started and it will take 10 to 15 minutes to complete the operating system installation. Once we have installed the operating system, then what we have to do? Okay, what is the software requirements for installing SQL Server? What are the software requirements for installing the SQL Server?
1 GB RAM.
Dot
Okay, 1 GB RAM. That is hardware requirement. Okay, tell me, no issues. 1 GB RAM.
uh, Framework.
Okay,
.NET.
.NET Framework. SQL Server software, Windows Server
Windows
software.
installer.
Okay, Windows installer, very good. Windows installed version 4.5 and above, right? So these are all the software requirements. So the main software requirements, you will get Windows installed by default with the operating system. No need to worry about it. Okay. And you have to do one thing. Up to 2008 R2, you will get .NET Framework inbuilt in the operating system. From 2012 onwards, from Windows Server 2012 onwards, you have to install the .NET Framework separately. Once you just completed the installation of .NET Framework, then only you can install the SQL Server. If you don't complete the .NET Framework installation, then you cannot install the SQL Server. You will get an error. Okay. So after the completion of this operating system, what will be the next step? We have to install .NET Framework on this machine. Then we can proceed for the SQL Server installation. Right? Any issues? Any doubts? Almost done. Okay, right. So it will ask for administrator password. Okay, just give the strong password, which we have already selected a strong password, right? Try to give that password. Okay, right. So once we just give the administrator password, then the machine will be ready. Okay, so now I have to log into the machine. How to log into the machine? It is showing Control Alt Delete to sign in, right? Don't press Control Alt Delete. It will not allow you to sign in. Okay, if you are using Control Alt Delete, your laptop will be locked. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to use right control button. There are two controls on your laptop keyboard. One is at left side, one is at right side near arrow keys. Okay. So just only press right control plus delete. Don't press alt. Okay. Just press right control button plus delete button. Don't press control alt delete button. Right control plus delete. Okay. Just give the password. Just now we gave one password, right? Just give that password to log into the machine. Right. So we will enable the remote settings. We'll enable the remote settings for this machine. Then we'll connect to this machine remotely. Okay. So let me stop this machine. I'll stop this machine. Okay. You cannot stop like this. You have to actually shut down the machine, but I'm stopping the machine. Okay. Right. So I just logged into the machine. Once you just log into the machine, immediately you will get a network pop-up. Okay. Immediately you'll get a network pop-up like this. Okay. So it is asking to connect to your local network, internet. Okay. Don't press yes. No. Sorry. Don't press no. If you press no, you cannot connect to the internet. Okay. Simply press yes. Okay. Then you can automatically connect to the internet. Right now, what we have to do for this, we have to enable the remote settings. Okay. So how to enable the remote settings? Actually, there are two settings. If you want to enable the remote settings, first you have to go to the Oracle VirtualBox Manager, go to the machine settings. Okay, go to the network. Here, bridge adapter. Okay, Broadcom 802.11 network adapter. Sometimes you cannot see if you just upgraded your VirtualBox to a new version. Okay, if you are upgraded this VirtualBox to new version, in such cases you cannot see this adapter. You can see only one adapter. Try to select that adapter only, but you will get the internet connection. You will get the internet connection as well as remote connection also. Advanced and select allow all. That's it. Once one setting is completed. Okay, what is the next setting? Yes,
Sir, I
yes.
didn't get that name.
Which name?
We have
Bridged.
selected bridge adapter, sir.
Mm-hmm.
After that,
After the that's what I'm saying. Whatever you are getting, keep it as it is. If you didn't get like this,
none is getting.
you
I'm
are
getting
getting
none.
keep it as it is. Okay, keep it
So
as it
OK
is.
button is disabled.
Okay button is also disabled.
Yes, sir.
1 minute. Okay, just to share your screen. I'll allow you to share your screen. Okay, you can share the screen. Let me stop my sharing.